Mison Sanctuary is easily accessible, with various tours and transportation options available. As a place of cultural and religious significance, visitors are expected to dress modestly, covering shoulders and knees. Hiring a guide can enhance your experience, providing insightful commentary and historical context. Whether you're a history buff, an architecture enthusiast, or simply seeking a spiritual retreat, Mison Sanctuary offers a captivating and unforgettable experience. Immerse yourself in ancient wonders and discover the echoes of a lost civilization. Whether you're a history buff, an architecture enthusiast, or simply seeking a spiritual retreat, Mison Sanctuary offers a captivating and unforgettable experience. Immerse yourself in ancient wonders and discover the echoes of a lost civilization amidst the verdant valleys of welcome. Take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints, kill nothing but time. Like that. Welcome to our forest. Oh, some more flowers. For nearly 1,000 years, Mison served as the religious and political center of the Champa Kingdom. It was a religious and political center. I didn't realize that. That's why it's got so much here. Over 70 structures, primarily intricately carved brick towers, were built here to honor Hindu deities like Shiva and Vishnu. Each tower boasts unique architectural styles reflecting the evolution of Champa art and influences from neighboring cultures. Sandstone sculptures depicting deities and mythical creatures adorn the structures, adding to their mystique. Sadly, during the Vietnam War, American bombing inflicted significant damage to Mison. Many towers were destroyed or partially collapsed, leaving behind a poignant reminder of the war's destructive impact. While the Champa Kingdom is no more, Mison Sanctuary remains an active place of worship for Cham communities. Visitors can witness traditional ceremonies and offerings being made, offering a glimpse into the enduring spiritual significance of the site. The major temple was rebuilt in the 10th and 11th centuries, dedicated to the human statue of the god Shiva. The standing statue of god Shiva is being exhibited in Da Nang Museum. This was the only temple with boat-curved roof with parasols covering the altar and walls without patterns, which was typical for Cham architecture after the 11th century. Whether all you really care about is getting a cool selfie or you're actually interested in history, this is going to tick the box for you. Site's pretty amazing. That's right. Sadly, during the Vietnam War, American bombing inflicted significant damage to Mison. Many towers were destroyed or partially collapsed, leaving behind a poignant reminder of the war's destructive impact. Since the war's end, extensive restoration efforts have been undertaken to preserve the remaining structures, and their cultural significance. I mean, obviously there was more, but it's kind of like in Cuzco in Peru. The Spanish came in and tried to knock down all the buildings, and they couldn't destroy the first floor of all the buildings. So you've got this city where the first floor of all the buildings are ancient Inca stonework, and then Spanish work on top of that. We've had this discussion before, but to come here and look at something and know that it's just a replica of the original building kind of makes you feel like, well, what's historic about that? On the other hand, when they get to the point where they're just rubble, like what exactly are you putting on display? It's a preservation versus restoration. Yeah, there's a line in Southeast Asia between India influence. That's why it's called Indochina, between Indian influence and Chinese influence. And Vietnam generally falls on the Chinese influence side. This is Group H, located on the northwest of Group BDC, and to the west of Group E. Constructed on a small hill, the main sanctuary was open to the east. Group H consisted of 4 constructions: the main sanctuary, Mandapa, Tower Gate, Gapura, and Treasure Tower. Tower of Fire, Koshagra. Most of Group H temples were destroyed by wars. The only remaining part is the western wall of the main temple. According to the archaeological description of the early 20th century, the hall located between the Tower Gate and the main sanctuary was surrounded by an enclosure similar to that of Tower Group Po Klung Garai in the southern part of the kingdom. I don't want to turn this into a travel brag session, but man, I am so glad I checked. This is definitely I don't like talking about the checklist of stuff you want to see, because it could go on forever and there's always something you don't know about, but it's hard not to for this one. This is a famous site, and it lives up to I think this has been one of the coolest sites that we've been to, not just here in Da Nang, but period. There's so much that's here. It can't be this. I didn't count, but I think there's more than 17 blocks in this one. Oh, I don't know why I think they're all going to be able to. You're going to be able to walk into both ends of all of them. It's generally not the way it works. If they're temples, you probably walk into one end, worship, and then come out the way you came. Although, if I start my own religion, I'm definitely going to have it work like a Disney ride. You get in one end, we take you through in a little car on tracks, and then we dump you out at the other end. They're like, you get off, we're like, drop you in the gift shop and tell you can buy salvation here. Since the war's end, extensive restoration efforts have been undertaken to preserve the remaining structures, and their cultural significance. Ongoing archaeological excavations continue to unearth hidden treasures and shed light on the Champa Kingdom's rich history. Temples are located on a small hill, indicating Temples Mountains concept, which reflects the connection between architectural style in Misan and that of Khmer. At the time, these temples are outstanding monuments in Misan thanks to its special location and typical structure of a temple tower complex. All right, let's head up there and see what it is. Visitors can wander amidst the ruins, soaking in the peaceful atmosphere, contemplating the site's powerful history. Beyond its historical importance, Misan offers a serene escape within its lush surroundings. Visitors Misan offers a serene escape within its lush surroundings. Visitors can wander amidst the ruins, soaking in the peaceful atmosphere, contemplating the site's powerful history. You've got Eastern and Western Roman empires. Some people say the Western Roman Empire is still there in the form of the Catholic Church. Kind of true. Some people say the Western Roman Empire is still there in the form of the Catholic Church. Kind of true. And any part of Europe you're in, the Roman Empire was there at some point, not there at others, but it doesn't mean that it was, no longer in existence. I don't want to jinx myself, but the mask worked. I'm not hacking and wheezing anymore. Presently, anyway. Whoa. I'm sure I get in other people's way, so I don't want to be too rude. But I always feel like I'm behind the shuffle brigade. Now here's one where the steps are almost definitely original. They've built steps for you to actually use, or brought in steel steps. But they're not really blocking off these. I'm certain there's a ton of people that think it's just cute as a button to trample over that when they have an option. There's a lot of you have to here to get up there. Boy jumped out and said, "Xin Chao." Hello. You've left some messages. Yes, I think that's easy to agree on. This is pretty cool. Obviously, as an archaeological site, it's second to none, but this is good for tourists. French archaeologist Henri Parmentier, I wonder if that's the name I couldn't say the other day, was the first person who discovered and conducted studies of Mison in early 20th century. His major studies on Cham arts were published during the period of 1909 to 1918. Okay. So there'll be a quantum leap one day when we can get a private tour guide that is willing to actually join the stream and explain what's going on. And that'll be delightful. But until then, we're going to generally avoid tours. At least guided tours. And what's up here? Maybe I should read the sign before we go. I love there's. You can't see anything from here, but this is what the sign is. Temples are located on a small hill indicating Temples Mountains concept, which reflects the connection between architectural style in Mison and that of Khmer. At the time, these temples are outstanding monuments in Mison thanks to its special location and typical structure of a temple tower complex. It could be that it's currently under excavation / restoration. Oh, there's actually a walkway here. I'm just stumbling over rocks, not on the walkway. Excavation / restoration. Oh, there's actually a walkway here. I'm just stumbling over rocks, not on the walkway. What am I thinking? It's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. French archaeologist Henri Parmentier, I wonder if that's the name I couldn't say the other day, was the first person who discovered and conducted studies of Mison in early 20th century. We're already fighting an uphill battle against, low image quality because it's a live stream. So I do have it set to there to be a, I don't want to say substantial, but I picked the middle ground delay, which means, I guess, a couple of minutes. Sorry about that, but I don't think you'd be seeing anything if I didn't set it any lower. It does mean when you say something, you gotta explain what you're talking about because it could have been a couple of minutes ago when I saw it. His major studies on Cham arts were published during the period of 1909 to 1918. Okay. Well, this part's pretty impressive. Sorry, I was lingering in front of the sign. I hate it when people do that. This, if you have a good tour guide, this is the type of place that is the place to do it. We've done tours on this, and we'll probably do them again on the stream. But it really is hard to follow for the audience. Like, I can listen to what they're saying and get a lot out of it. The people at home might. I don't. I'm actually also surprised at how easily accessible the whole site is, considering its age. I mean, it looks like there's a lot that could be climbed on. I mean, is being climbed on, I should say. This wall, you kind of have to step on it to get over there. The low part here, but there's really no entry part. Well, there's also no description. Maybe I came in the back door and I'll see it on the way out. You see some sign over there. It looks like a construction sign, but who knows? I see a lot of Indian flags here. I think the Indian government may be putting in effort to help restore or develop it in some way. I was tempted to say it also means if it's that old in the U.S. that it predates our country, but actually that's true here as well, because the Cham kingdom is no longer. This one's being held up, obviously. Structural supports. These front pieces, these carved front pieces that are distinct, it must be a different rock because they're a distinctly different color. I know it's moss growing on it, but there's a reason that that's got moss growing on it and the other bricks do not. There's a reason that that's got moss growing on it and the other bricks do not. Those could just be fired brick. But anyway, those carved pieces, they show up in the museums. Every museum has had at least one or two of those. I think it's because that's actual stone carving, and I'm guessing the bricks are like they're either kiln fired bricks, or they're just squares of stone. I think they're probably. It said it's the cultural and It said it's the religious and political center of the Cham kingdom. They stopped short of calling it a city. In ancient times, wasn't necessarily. Not all cultures lived in cities, so I'm not sure if you would consider a population here, or if there were farmers who did their worshiping and their political business here, like that would work. Interesting. See how thick the walls are. Yeah, I agree. We should give the public time to read that comment. But yes, I agree with that totally. That's all I can think of, really, is to see what it looks like now. And you can tell there was more. Okay, mask is on. Let's see if I can start hacking into the microphone. If it now sounds muffled, please let me know. we find something that's 300 years old. Well, this is some very old. So the Cham predates the Viet. So the Viet culture has been, well, in this area, it predates the Viet, I should say. But this is whichever whichever dates you go by, it's at least 1,300 years old. That is unheard of on our part of the world, more or less unheard of. I was tempted to say it also means if it's that old in the U.S. that.
Jag sitter och de här kommer då det personer som tar över. Jag är med sig kvar med inför. Men jag kan rätt att det sitter och ber. 4. Lämna en tid. Jag klarar inte 15 från. Hemma. Ja, jag sitter och de här kommer då det personer som tar över. Jag är med sig kvar med inför. Men jag kan rätt att det sitter och ber. 4. Lämna en tid. Jag klarar inte 15 från. Hemma.